The following program is powered by Ride the Wave Media.
Introducing the best podcast in Utah, Radio Daybreak. Here are your hosts, Blane and Becks.
Oh, yes. You guys hear that music?
I do.
We're all moving to a different beat. I can tell we... Welcome to Radio Daybreak, the best podcast in Utah. Look who's back.
Hey, guys.
What? Like...
Back from Japan.
What? It's not like I just toured the world of things.
You did tour the world, though. You went to Japan. You missed out on a lot of stuff here, though. You missed out on Snowstorm.
I wouldn't say that missing out. I would say
Northern Lights happened. The Northern Lights.
that I actually feel horrible for missing. But thanks for the photos. They were awesome.
Oh, right. Who is that Jason Hinman guy? Jason Hinman, Jared Foley, too. You see him out there? Ooh, they had some fire.
Amazing.
I didn't really necessarily miss out on the snowstorm. I just want to call that out. I was happy to be gone.
True.
Right? Like that was wild, though. That was wild. And now it's back to what? Like 80 degrees outside. We're sitting here.
We've got fourth winter still.
Fourth winter is coming. We're sitting here at Harman's right now for the Daybreak Business Community networking events that we're still doing right here every Wednesday in May. June, we're moving
To Novel
Apartments.
You know why? We worked the deal out. They're gonna cater the first and third lunch of the month. So that's why we're going back over there.
I love free food.
I mean, we all do,
I
right?
do. Free food reminds me of everything I missed as a child.
Okay.
You were in the bakery. You got a lot of bread.
I wasn't free.
Oh my gosh.
Facts.
Oh my gosh. What was it you said you wished you would have been doing? Working?
Making shoes.
Making
cell phones.
Cell phones.
That sounds so much more fun than granola.
Wow. And if you haven't heard the story about the granola he took home. Ooh.
Delicious.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, come to a Daybreak comedy show.
Which is a
Speaking of, we've got to announce that.
We do. We've got a our very first family-friendly night break comedy show this Friday, 7 p.m. for the kiddos at Biscott's Bakery. I'm bringing down two really fabulous professional comedians, Adam Browd from Comedy Church, Jordan Macon from Dry Bar Comedy. They're gonna crush.
Heavy hitters right there. You got some heavy hitters coming.
These are legit comedians. They tour. They are on. They're on the local circuit. They really do a great job. And then I've got a local legend, granddaddy of dad jokes, Mike Agrilius.
Ooh, Agrilius.
We met actually here at this networking event. Goes to show the power of networking, and he's coming out to headline. He's going to be doing stand-up for not the second time, but the first time in 40 years. 40 years ago, we tried some stand-up. Last week, he went up and did a couple of minutes, crushed. And he's going to be our headliner.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, Mike Agrilius, this is a diamond in the rough.
Oh, he is beautiful. A beautiful human. Just great grandpa energy, but just wicked sharp and really, really
So sharp. And to give everybody a reminder, again, that is this Friday, 7 p.m.
7
at Biscott.
At Biscott's. Yep.
Get your tickets at.
Tickets are on thefreshkingbenjamin.com. The Fresh King Benjamin. I paid for that article. Thefreshkingbenjamin.com. And then you just look for Night Break Comedy in the menu.
Nightbreak, Nite.
Nite, yes. Night Break Comedy.
And that's because we can't use the other words.
Yeah.
Don't say it. Don't even speak it. Don't even say it.
In fact, I think if you Google Night Break Comedy, it's actually like the first thing.
It is.
Pops
I see it right there.
Yeah, so there it is.
Nice.
Tickets, so I'm excited. I will be there.
How much are those tickets?
They're $22.22.
Not a bad deal at all. To not have to leave your own neighborhood.
Literally, it's 5 minutes away from where you live. You could potentially walk there if you're on that side of Daybreak.
Right.
And if you don't, or it's $20 at the door.
There you go.
But get your tickets in advance for this one because it will probably sell out.
Oh, absolutely. Now, listen, I saw a comment from M. Agrilius on your show, back the first show, and he said that it was right in line with the LA Comedy Store, with the ones on Sunset Boulevard. I'm going to tell you right now, Mike Agrilius is on par with being at that level of talent because he is funny. I have seen his set.
Yeah, he's funny. He's got a great command of the room. And even I was shocked last week when he went. I asked him before the show. I was like, hey, do you want to just come up and do some time? And he was like, okay.
Just improv.
Just right there. I just threw him into it. He did 5 minutes.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I really think this. Not only is he an author with some incredible books, which kind of ties together, of course, but this might be his new career.
Yeah, I think I've launched him on a brand new, you'll see him on like Conan. Oh, 100%. I'm now his agent. and I will be taking 50% of all. No,
Does Mike know this? He
Mike,
does
surprise.
Yeah, right.
Let's get to our guest.
Yes. So today's guest, we got the incredible Boyd Petersen. He's a legend in his own right here in South Jordan. Not only South Jordan, but the guy has started chamber of commerces in like 800 something countries or something.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
That
number.
South Jordan Chamber.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I exaggerated a little.
Brilliant guy. Yeah. And lots of marketing info and insight, I think, that he's about to share with us.
He's got so much info and knowledge. This guy, he's brilliant. You really do got to talk to him and get a one-on-one, because guess what? You'll find out why you got to book a one-on-one with him. It's really interesting. We'll talk about that in the conversation too.
Love it.
We'll come back on the backside and see you there.
All right. See you then.
We are here with our guest, Boyd Petersen. Becks, you and Boyd got something really in common right now. You're international travelers. You've got Becks, where were you? Tokyo, Japan?
Yeah, Japan, all over Japan. Yep. And then I felt
Boyd.
like Boyd, was in Ireland.
Yes.
How was
and
that?
I was all over Ireland too. So yes.
My
but
goodness,
Ireland's a lot smaller than Japan.
Well, for me, I was here in South Jordan, and I can tell you I'd have rather been in either one of those places. So,
Well, from what I was seeing on Facebook, Blane, I didn't want to be in South Jordan. You guys all got snow last week.
Yeah, you had snow and hail, and oh my gosh.
It was wild. The tornadoes, there was like northern lights. Like, what's going on? What's happening around here?
I am disappointed that I missed was the northern lights. The pictures on our Facebook page looked absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah. So I guess we got to start this off, and it just needs to be a battle. Who had the best vacation? Who had the best vacation out of you two from Japan
Well,
to
I don't
Ireland?
know if we go that way, Blane, or if it's just time for you to have an international vacation. I think maybe we just throw that out there. Where are we sending Blane?
I like that idea.
He needs to get a vacation, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
International
true.
or not, so yeah.
We're here with Boyd Petersen, a man of many hats. Right?
Yes.
That's pretty much accurate, right? Because
True.
I think from the time we've known Boyd, seeing him at business networking events, I've heard 5 or 6 different things that he does. All of them outstanding. But Boyd, your main focus is digital marketing. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Tell us. I already know some of the history on Boyd. So without giving spoilers away, how did you get into digital marketing?
Well, that's an interesting story because I started with newspapers. So back in 1998, my wife and I bought a small little community newspaper, had a circulation of about 17,000 here in the south end of the Salt Lake Valley. It was called the South Valley Journal and covered mainly Draper, a little bit of Draper, all of Riverton, Harman, and Bluffdale. And so we bought that, and then we kept building it and building it. Well, in 2006, I recognized that people were going to start saying, I'm going to stop advertising with your newspaper. I want to try this digital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to be able to say, you know what? I can help you with that. Because my background is very much into all kinds of digital stuff. So we did things like, email marketing, banner ads, text messaging. And then as social media came along, we added social media. And so that's what we did. And I was able to have a lot of customers come and say, okay, well, let's do both newspaper and the digital ads. And so we did. And we had quite a few people who were doing banner ads on our website. And so that's what we were doing. But
so this was 2006, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So this was, the internet had been around for a little bit. So this was still early days, though. Still early days.
Yeah, our kids are probably like, "What's a newspaper?" Right?
You still
kids
get them.
anyway. What is that?
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you about that. I love a newspaper printing play. I grew up in a small town, and we had a small paper, the Humboldt Chronicle, baby. I just put them back on the map. And I used to hang out with the owner in there. Frank Warmouth was his name, and I that's where I grew passionate about being in media of some sort. I was like, this is where I want to be at. There's nothing like seeing that printing press just roll. I don't know. It was something about it. It got me.
You know, it does bring up something because it isn't so nostalgic, like to have that paper in your hand and the smell of the print and the newspaper, right? Like to still have that tangible piece. So I kind of miss that in today's era. But, you know, it really is fascinating, Boyd, that you know, just really took on the change and the technology and evolved into, you know, being relevant because things did change pretty quickly too.
Well, in 2014, we sold the newspapers, and they're still running today.
Yeah.
Here in this area, it's the South Jordan Journal. That was one of our newspapers, too. When we sold them, we had 14 newspapers. When we bought them, we had one. And wow. But when we sold them, I was selling them to this younger guy. He was probably about 32 or so. And about a week before we're closing on the newspaper, he calls me up and he says, "Boyd, what's this digital crap?" And I said, "Well, we have this digital agency, and here's what we do." And I was telling him. And when I said, finally, and we do digital marketing with social media. And he said, no, wait. You do understand. Social media is a fad and it'll be gone in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I said, "You know what? That's okay, Brian. I'll just keep that. No one else knows how to sell it anyway. Let me just keep that." And he says, "Oh, you got it. I don't want that."
Wow.
Okay. So, I mean, he has built the newspapers. When we sold it to him, we had 14 newspapers. I think he has 22 right now, including 2 up in Idaho. And so, yeah. And, you know, there is still a market for newspapers, especially when they're community based. The big ones like the regional ones we have here and other places, their circulation keeps dropping, but the circulation for the newspapers like what we were doing is still going up. So that's good.
That's
one
awesome.
of the interesting things here that I can already just point out is the fact that we're talking about stuff and we're talking about it in a way that it sounds like it's 100 years old. Like it sounds like when we're saying, "Oh, well, back in the day," this is less than 20 years.
Yeah.
This is all in less than 20 years. That's crazy to think that we're progressing that fast. But before I get some answers on what your thoughts are for the future, let's run back to some of those early days of your business. Like, what you got to have some crazy stories, some fun stuff that you did, something that stands out. Maybe it's that story you just told where you told him, "Hey, I'll handle this fad."
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the funny things that we were doing, and it's funny and sad at the same time. We had about 18 or 20 text messaging companies, companies that use text messaging. One of them was a bakery here in Daybreak.
Oh.
You guys won't remember them because they went out of business in 2015. And the reason they went out of business in 2015 was because the new company, he kept that. That was the only thing he wanted to keep out of the digital stuff was the text messaging. And I thought, oh, good. It's because they make about $10,000 or $12,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's because we had a huge mailing list or texting list to our customers saying, "Here comes the newspaper. Watch for it in your mail." Okay, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And he wanted that. Well, he let all the other people that were on that text messaging go. And one of them was this bakery. Now, let me tell you the story of the bakery. The bakery called me, and this is probably 2011. It's probably 2011. And she says, "Boyd, I need your help. Can you come see me?" So I did. We sat down in her restaurant, and she said, "Boyd, if I don't double my sales in the next 60, maybe 90 days, I'm out of business. I can't, I'm just not making it go. And, having the people I have." And I said, "Well, okay, let me look at it." Now, she was advertising with us in the journals, but she wasn't getting quite as much as she wanted. And I said, and I'm looking at all the people coming in, and they said, "Do you have brownies today? Are they the fresh brownies? I don't want yesterday's brownies." And she said, and of course they'd say 1 or 2 days a week, they'd say, "Yes, we do." But the rest of the week they say no. And I said, "Okay, what if we put together a text messaging program?" And we said, "Fresh brownies out of the oven today." And only people who want to know about that sign up for that. Ooh, okay. Well, we did that with a whole bunch of the things that she had. Cake pops, with eclairs, with lemon bars. Oh my gosh, there was a lot of them. Okay. And then she was doing breads as well. And so we said, okay, let's do the breads as well. And then she had a sandwich. She would do sandwiches with the bread of the day. And so at 11 o'clock in the morning, we'd send out and say, hey, today's the sandwich is, and then she would, describe that to them in the text message. She tripled her business.
Can you bring that back? I'm getting hungry now.
Yeah, right.
I can still do it.
Subscribe to that. That's awesome.
Did you say triple? You said tripled her sales?
Tripled her business in 30 days.
Oh,
gosh, Boyd, that is awesome.
Now, here's the thing. She was making a huge batch of brownies every Monday.
Yeah.
It would last her all week. With this program, she had to make another huge batch of brownies on Tuesday.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
And on Thursday, and then she didn't make them for the rest of the week. But, she just, brownies went nuts. So did all of the other things that she had like that. Because people got to know when it was fresh, right out of the oven. And people would, and we had it so that this text messaging was a different text than what most people use. You could respond to it. And you could say yes. And it's not a shared text message. That's why. And so the people would send back and say, keep me a dozen.
Yeah.
And she would pull a dozen for them, and they would say whose name it was, because when they signed up, they put their name in. And so she would
very targeted.
It was really, really well. Well,
yeah, that's awesome.
That's what that kept her in business for years and years. And then in 2014, when I sold the business, the guy just didn't care much about it. And so he didn't really give her any help and service, and she needed some changes, and he didn't know what to do. And so he just let it go.
Wow.
And it let her go.
Oh, darn.
So,
this really does lead into a question that I had for you. As you know, Blane and I are part of the admin for DBC, or the Daybreak business community. And we get this question all the time from our business owners, is about marketing and what key strategies are. It sounds like really targeting, that specific audience, like who is your primary client, and then you go after that client directly. Do you have any other, key strategies or marketing advice for these business owners?
So a lot of people, they say, how can I find more prospects? I want more prospects or leads. Prospects are better than leads. Yeah. Prospects are, ready to buy almost. And so one of the things we ask people to do, and I do this all the time, I ask them to talk to the customers they already have. Find out where they hang out online. Because, if their customers are not hanging out on one social media, and that's the only place you're doing it on, you're wasting your money. And I'll give you some examples of that. So we have this HVAC company, and last May we did a survey for them, and we found out that 79% of their customers were on Facebook almost every day.
Wow, that's huge.
Now, well, that's huge, but here's the thing. It was the next question that really helped us. They didn't pay any attention to their type of ads when they were on Facebook. And the reason we asked them, well, why not? And they said, we go to Facebook to connect with friends and family. We don't like being sold to.
Got it. Yep.
Okay. Now that's a big thing to pay attention to. So, and the next question is, where else are you on, and where would you like to see our ads? Or our, and it wasn't just ads, it's our content. Some of them will be ads, some of them will be things to tell you about what we are doing, what you can do to, save money on this or that, and home improvements, things like that. Well, Instagram was number one for them. Okay. Instagram was their second highest in, the social media being, people going to, at 63, I think, percent went to that, but it was really high on it. It outdid all of the other social media sites combined.
Wow.
What they were getting on Instagram. So he had been putting ads on Facebook for years and kept saying, I'm just not getting any results. And now we know why. That's you got to know why. You got to know how, why are people doing it or why are they not doing it? And so, and that's a key thing that is necessary.
Now, how long did it take you to figure that out?
Not long.
Yeah.
Now, you got to understand, I come from a background, back in the 1990s, when I graduated from college there, it was in marketing. And one of the first things I figured out was you got to know where people are paying attention to your message. Not just throw it on what you think it is and not what you think it should be. It's what your customers are using, what your prospects will be attracted to. And so it's really hard for some people. They say, well, I love this type of thing and I love that. And it doesn't matter. Yes. And, it just doesn't matter, because if you love something, I like, and you see my Star Trek and Star Wars and Time Lord stuff behind me. I love that, but that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But what if I wrote things all about that? Well, it's great if I'm trying to shotgun the approach. No, it's not. Because the shotgun approach is not going to do anything for you. If I wanted to, one of the things, and I know you'll probably ask me about this, is why do I do a lot of things with Star Trek? And I keep telling people you have to do one-to-one with me. But it goes along with, I got to work with Star Trek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so,
I know Blane had some questions all about Star Trek. He wanted to get to that right off.
Yeah.
Well,
before we get to that, though, we got other stuff. But yeah, go ahead, Boyd.
Well, anyway, the key is you got to find out what the customers are interested in and find out how they are going to respond to the advertisements that you're putting together. So with that HVAC company, we put together some ads. We asked their current customers, do you like these? And some of them, they said, that's too salesy. It's too, like we had one that was talking about, if you're only getting it cool now, it's going to fail in July. They didn't like that. They said, no. That just feels like I'm doing something wrong and it's going to fail on me because of my fault. And people don't like to have themselves blamed for anything that happens. And so we changed the ads around. And so, we changed it so that it said something about, if you're getting, you're having trouble staying cool now, let's help you get it so you're nice and cold in July. Okay, now you see the difference?
I do see the difference. The other one's almost like fear. It's like we're gonna
it is
scare you. Yeah. The second one's
if
like,
you don't do it, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. That's like the other way you just said it feels organic.
Helpful.
It feels human.
Is the idea.
Yeah, and helpful versus fearful. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. Now, Boyd, was this HVAC thing? Was this a recent thing, or do you have a project or something you're working on now that you're?
May last year. So I asked my clients to do this, almost every client, and that's what we did with. We didn't do it quite like that with the company I was telling you about a minute ago, the bakery. I just sitting there could see how text messaging would be their best opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And to be quite honest, they did stop doing their ads in the newspaper because they were doing so well with that. In fact, they got to the point where they said, we've got to slow it down a little.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
To that point, yes.
When you say I got to slow down business, that's not a bad thing, though. When you got to slow it down.
You know what you're capable of, and if it's hitting that ceiling, don't let it push you over the top because that'll put you into bankruptcy.
Yeah. So that was last year. So what's something right now that you're proud of that you're working on, or that you just did, or something that stands out to you?
I've got a good one. So we had this customer. They do teeth whitening, and that's all they do. Okay. And they're down in the Utah County area. Well, they came to me and they said, here are the, what we feel is the right places. And they'd been talking to some other owners of the same type of business, and they were going after people that were getting ready to get married. They were going after, some different things when it was a change in their life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. So we targeted like flower shops and reception centers and places like that where they would go to. Well, we picked up a few people, but they only had 8 clicks the entire month.
Wow.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
if you only get 8 clicks, it's almost like you were just blacklisted somewhere, because you can get 8 people who accidentally find you before.
Yeah.
Right. So while they were doing that, because he insisted, this is exactly what I have to do. And when you get a customer who just insists on something, well, you do that. But while we were doing it, the last 2 weeks of it, I started doing some other investigating. And I said, what you really need is to go after the people that are in the 2 big colleges in Utah County and all the people around them. And they said, well, why is that? And I said, they're all the same people you're looking for, but then instead of it being very targeted to just that reception center, that maybe they're going to another reception center, and we don't know that.
You're catching them earlier.
Yeah. Well, in the first 10 days, we got 85 clicks.
Wow.
In the first month, 85 the next 10 days.
That's awesome.
That's the difference. So
from 8, literally just 8.
8.
Yeah.
8 in a month. Yeah. To 85 in 10 days. So if it continued, they actually sold the business, because he says, I got so little business. And I'm going, well, that's because you were going with bad information. Here, we've got it going. He says, it's too late. I'm going to sell it.
Oh.
Okay. Whatever.
Wow.
But yeah. So that's the thing, is you got to pay attention to where your customers are going to be, and you got to target them. You got to put the right message for them. I mean, the messages were great. We put the messages together. Are you getting married? We can help you make it so that you just dazzle them with your smile.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we did, we also did graduation, and there was a couple of other things that we did. And so the ads were right, because as soon as we got to the right way of marketing it, it just really blossomed. But
I really love what you're saying there, Boyd, because sometimes, Blane and I are both business owners. Sometimes when you're in your business and you're working in it, like you're saying, you just don't have that insight for him, as an example, taking it even a step back to reach his audience at an earlier stage. He didn't have that perspective to get a broader audience. He was like, no, here's where it is. And sometimes when you're in your business, you just become so focused, you don't necessarily see that. So it's great that people can hire a company like yours and you to dive in and say, hey, let's look at this from a different angle and perspective. Yeah. And, that's where your expertise in marketing in this business over, we won't say how many years, but a lot of years really can make a huge difference.
Boyd, what is the name of the business, and how do we find that business?
Well, the business is BP Media. Well, its actual name is Big Picture Media, but most people don't find it by that. They know me by BP Media, because that's what we got for our URL was BP Media, because Big Picture Media was already taken. And
and it matches your initials. That's easy.
Well, it does, yes. And so there you go. Yes, Big Picture Media, bpmedia.com. That's it. And that's a great way to find out more about us. We are working on our website right now to update some new stuff that we have, and so that's always fun. Because it's kind of like the mechanic whose own cars don't run as well as the ones he's fixing. And that's what we get with ours, with our website. Oh, we got to get to what we started 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah. So, Boyd, it sounds like you were kind of on the front end of some of these fads. What's the next fad you see? What fad are we in right now that is not going anywhere, but people will argue that it is,
Well, one of the big fads right now that is, people just aren't paying attention to is video. Now, of course, a lot of people are saying, oh, video, 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 but they're not optimizing them correctly. And that's the key, is optimizing your videos so that people will find you. And we have some videos that we do. We're on the first page for those targeted keywords within 24 hours. First page. And it draws people in because we know what people are looking for. We know how to put it in. So Google will give them our information because we're the number one way of them getting that information.
That's huge.
And using video is the best way of doing it as well. People love video. I want to watch a video rather than, read about it or do anything else. And so, and that's what we do. So video is really, really strong. There's a couple of other things, though. Here's one that's just coming about. When you go to Google and you start typing in something and, you get to it and then it says, oh, there's only 1,600,000, things. Well, what if while you're typing it, maybe let's say your air conditioner's going out. You start typing air condition and all of a sudden it comes up and it automatically will fill your search bar, but now it's filling it with a company name as well. So when you say, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, you're the first person that's coming up on that search.
Wow, that's really powerful.
You're not the first one on anything in there other than you're the first one that's going to go to. And when you go to that page, it has your information. It has your videos. It has all the things that will help them know that they need to do business with you. That's a new thing that's just coming out, and it is doing such great things for some businesses. It's not good for every business, but it is for a lot.
I've heard you make a guarantee that BP Media has.
Well, it depends on which one it is. So
it's the one that basically, I think you take some form of payment, but you don't really take any until you get to the
yes. So we have an SEO program that we guarantee you'll be on the first page, and you don't pay for our services until you are on that first page for those things. Now, there are sometimes when there's a couple of your 10 keywords that we can't get to the first page immediately, but we will get to 8 of those 10. And when we hit that, that's when we bill you. And so you don't pay for us. There's so many of companies that are SEO companies, like we took over for one. They're charging their customers $4,000 a month. They told them it'll be between 10 and 12 months before they can get to the first page.
Yikes. Wow.
Yeah, $4,000 a month. Now, our $800 a month program got them to the first page in 3 weeks.
Oh, my word.
What is it they're not doing? It's things we are.
Yeah.
And that's the key. And they keep saying, oh, they're using black hat things. And I'm going, no, we're doing things you just like. They forgot to put on the main web page of the homepage of this customer. They forgot to put the keyword so that Google would know what the main keyword is for that website. They forgot to put it on there.
Oh,
well, come on, guys, $4,000 a month and you can't put the keyword on there?
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
So all right, boys. So let's wrap this thing up. This video fad, then that's just today. Now, I want to talk about way out there, like Stardate 49268.4.
Social media will have changed considerably by then. Yes.
Oh, I bet. Now tell us some of this Star Trek stuff. Don't get into it too deep now, because I know a little bit. I'm a Trekkie myself. I've got a child named after a Star Trek character. Come on.
Is it Kira Nerys?
No. Let's just say if I could get Jonathan Frakes on this show, I'd be way up here.
So,
yeah.
So
give us a teaser, Boyd. Give us a teaser. What'd you work on?
So I got to work on the last 2.5 seasons of Star Trek Next Generation, a little bit on Deep Space Nine, and a lot on Voyager. So, and it was fun to do. So, and you'll have to find out how I did that. The disadvantage to it is you'll never see my name in any of the credits because I was not in the Writers Guild.
Yeah.
And in order to be listed, you have to be in one of the guilds, and the Writers Guild is the one I would have been working with. And so I'll have to tell, if you're interested in finding out that story, get in touch with me. I'll be glad to tell you.
Yep. We're also going to bring you back on. I'm just going to have to develop a whole sci-fi podcast show. And
there you go.
There you go.
I would love to do that. Boyd, thank you so much. bpmedia.com. What's your social media platforms?
I'm on almost all of them, although, again, BP Media sometimes is taken by, like BP British Petroleum has BP Media as well, but they don't have bpmedia.com. And so that's okay with me. They can't have everything.
And that's the best way to find you then is bpmedia.com.
bpmedia.com, or if on social media, a lot of them are BP Media SLC. So that people know it's for the Salt Lake City ones, because there's several around, and so that's okay. So yes, that's my handle for. That's my handle for the Facebook. For Instagram, it's actually BP Media Social, but
okay.
That's okay. So anyway, those once you find BP Media, if you you'll see that there's several of them. Just look for the one that says SLC or social, and that's me. So.
Appreciate you, Boyd. You're also we didn't even touch it really. The president of the South Jordan Chamber of Commerce. What's your next meetings coming up? You got one tomorrow, right? Thursdays. You got Thursdays.
We have two of them tomorrow, and so we have a mastermind group in the morning at 9:00, and then and that's down at Tishar's Brazilian Express. And then at 1:00 we have our late lunch networking, which is also at Tishar's right now. That one moves around every 4 months, and it just happens to be at Tishar's as well.
Now, if the people aren't listening to this today,
every Thursday.
There you go. Every
Thursday, those two happen, and so just come and hang out with us. And there's no charge other than if you're buying food, and trust me, the food there is really good. It's Brazilian, of course, but it's really good food. And if you haven't tried it, you're going to have to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if you're a South Jordan business or you serve the South Jordan businesses out here, show up to one of these meetings. We
even accept people from Sandy and Riverton and Harman. And
surrounding areas,
Jordan, yeah. Hey, come hang out with us and enjoy the time of networking that we do.
I love
and
it.
Boyd, you have a calendar for that as well, right?
We do. If you go to southjordanchamber.org, that'll get you to our main website, and then just click on the events page, and it'll allow you to go down and see all the events in the order of what's next.
Wonderful. It's always so great speaking with you. Again, we'll have you on the show again because I know Blane really wants to jump into the Trekkie stuff with you. Always a pleasure, Boyd. Thanks so much.
It'll be just Blane, Boyd Petersen, and Jonathan Frakes. We're going to have a
there you go.
discussion. I'm going to get I'll get him, or we'll get I don't know. There's got to be somebody out there from those shows that we can get on with us. So I'd love to do that.
Yep, we'll do that.
Oh, man, what a great interview with Boyd Petersen. That's bpmedia.com. Make sure you book that one-on-one. And, hey, we're going to really have him back because I want to hear about this Star Trek thing he's got going on.
I knew you would dive into that.
I'm not kidding.
I knew you would be all about the Trekkie.
I'm going to get Jonathan Frakes on the show. That was the guy who played Riker with Picard and them on The Next Generation.
Yep.
Gonna have to get him on the show.
I think he's got some insider info. I mean, he worked with the show for, it sounds like, a few years.
Hey, I guarantee we can have it'll happen. It'll happen.
I love it.
bpmedia.com. He's gonna help us out too with the network here. You know who we got with us now?
Miss Courtney.
Courtney
Actually,
Pearl.
it's just Ben again.
It's
Still,
Ben.
I just changed bodies real quick.
Wait, well,
Anywhere.
but okay. So wait a minute. So my question is: was it Ben here the whole time, or was it you here the whole time?
Actually, it was me the whole time. I'm a witch, see, so I can transfiguration into Ben when I want
I'm
to.
really
Needs to be.
excited to see you on Friday at your comedy skit.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hilarious.
So Nightbreak Comedy, tell us about your upcoming.
Well, the beauty of that is that same day, that morning, afternoon at Biscott's, I am doing a Heart Smart Art workshop for kids. So emotional intelligence for kids and parents. And there's still spots. So if you want to get in on that, I think it'd be great to do that. And then the comedy show that night.
That
with
like,
kids.
why wouldn't you?
I love it.
That, that's
So
like,
again, Friday the 17th, and you are at what time at Biscott's?
It's at 2 o'clock.
2
So it'll be 2 to 2:30 or 2 to 3:30. Yeah.
2 to 3:30, and then right after that, we'll see you / Ben again.
When I'm Ben again. Yeah.
Got it. Yep. 7 o'clock for night.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
We got a
So
full schedule this week.
there's a total full schedule. Like, this is wild. We got so much stuff going on.
We do.
How do we even fit in other stuff? Like, how do we get like
We're
well,
just that good.
right? We could
And
do
apparently we can clone ourselves and just
Yeah.
make it
And
happen.
me and Ben will be at Ground to Earth Coffee on Sunday doing tarot for tips from 10 to 12.
Okay, Sunday, Tarot for Tips, Ground to Earth.
Yep.
Time
10 a.m. to 12.
a.m. to 12.
Sometimes I hang out a little longer if people really need some answers and want to get some tarot readings. And, I don't mind staying a little bit longer.
Oh, why not, huh? Why not? So this is Courtney Pearl podcast, Practically Magic. Make sure you check that thing out.
Yeah.
She's got a banger of a show. It's incredible. It's fun.
Lots of real magic.
She did a chromotherapy sauna with Stacy from Pure Sweat.
I saw that. That was awesome.
And if you-
by the way.
For our audio only listeners, stick around because I'm in the sauna with Victoria from Pure Sweat and Float on today's show. Stick around at the end.
They did an extra little bonus today. That's right.
They got some cool stuff going on. They got like date nights and stuff going on over there at Pure Sweat and Float. And this is our it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm just making it Health Awareness Month overall.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring a health awareness. We need that. We got to take care of our bodies. We got to take care of all that. Speaking of date night, I got something. I just went on a date this past weekend.
Oh yeah, tell us about
Me and
it.
Lindsay, wonderful wife,
Love her.
love it. We found a new favorite spot, Broovies. We went to this place called Broovies. It's a theater.
I've heard of movies.
It's a theater in downtown Salt Lake, right? And they've got a bar.
Okay.
They've got a restaurant. You can go in there and eat. Now we went to see this Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I got something that's been bothering me.
Uh-oh, here we go. I feel like a rant.
No rant.
Okay.
It's just been bothering me since I saw it. It's not a rant, I promise. It's something that's really been concerning me.
Okay, no, let's hear it.
How'd they get them monkeys to talk?
Magic. Courtney could probably.
No, I'm serious. How did they get them to talking? Like, how'd they get them to ride the horses too?
Peanut butter on the roof of the mouth, right? Like that's what they did for Dr.
Yeah.
Sure. There was like
They move their legs. Definitely.
There you go.
Oh,
See, Courtney?
she's got it figured out. That's how they. But I'm still confused though. I guess I'll have to just keep thinking about it. We'll have to get back to that.
Get back to it.
All right. That's it for today's show. Everybody's confused now. We're like, what?
What? Just
But yeah, hey, Broovies was the spot though. You gotta check it out. They didn't pay me to say that. That's not a sponsor. It was awesome. It's a place to go for an adult. You get your beverage. We could actually do some comedy shows in there. At Radio Daybreak across the board. Courtney Pearl, Practically Magic, Ride the Wave Media. You got Vibing the Apocalypse back there.
on top of you.
Whoa, looking good back there. All right, we'll see you guys next week. For my audio only listeners, stick around. Me and Victoria in the sauna. It was 158 degrees in there.
Sounds awesome. Can't wait to hear it.
Oh, it's something.
excited.
Stick around.
Sounds good.
I'm here. I am at Pure Sweat and Float Studio. I am sweating. I'm with Victoria here, who works here, and we're in what is this? The infrared sauna?
Yeah, the infrared sauna.
Woo!
Yes, our sun-latent saunas are amazing.
It's 158 degrees in here right now.
And climbing.
This is wild. People come in here to do this for fun?
Yes, it is fun and it feels so good when you get out and you're all glowing and your muscles are relaxed.
Honestly, I'm just giving you a hard time. I knew what I was getting into right here. It's warm, and I know it's got a lot of health benefits.
It's so good.
I can feel it. It feels good to me already. My bones feel good.
Yeah, mine too. My rheumatic diseases, I feel like they're really benefited by the dry sunlight and infrared
You
sauna.
said disease is.
Yeah.
But S, plural.
So when you have autoimmune diseases, they frequently come in multiple sets. So you're generally diagnosed with one, and then like a year or two later, you might be diagnosed with one or two or three, and that's
we gotta dive into this.
Been the progression for me.
So you getting a job here with Stacy. I guess Stacy's the one I hired. I love Stacy at Pure Sweat and Float Studio. It wasn't just for a paycheck. Like you actually, you are using what they have up here for your diseases. Let's get that straight. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge benefit to my health, and I try to live really intentionally. So when I met Stacy, I thought this was such an awesome business, and my rheumatologist had told me like infrared saunas can be really beneficial for autoimmune diseases. When you're in a flare, it kind of helps to calm down your immune system and stop it from attacking your own joints and your own cells and tissue. So after he and I had that conversation, I was trying to figure out a way to kind of make this more of a lifestyle.
I like that.
Yeah, so it worked out really well. Stacy's incredible. She's a great businesswoman and supporter of other small businesses in our community. And I just really felt like a kindred connection with her when we first met, and I was excited to support her in this mission. And
she's got a great energy about her.
Definitely, yeah.
This place has got a great energy about it.
I think so too. The first time I ever stepped foot in here, it was just the calming blues and whites and how tidy and immaculately clean everything was really spoke to me. It was like coming in out of like off of like the street and just coming into such a warm, welcoming, bright and like clean space was good for my mental health too.
That. So tell people what the process is if a brand new client walks in here and they want to do this infrared sauna. What do? You walk up to the front desk?
Yep, walk up to the front desk. You can also pre-book using the Mind Body app or the Pure Sweat and Float app. It's available in the Apple App Store.
All right.
So you can book one of three ways. You can call us to book, book through ClassPass, or book through the Mind Body app. And the Pure Sweat and Float app. And what you would do is you would come in, take off your shoes at the front door, put on some sterilized spa slides, and then we would talk to you about your health and wellness goals to see what package or service would be like a good fit for you, depending on how often you'd like to come into the studio. And a lot of people choose to buy a package that includes both the infrared sauna packages and the float packages because they have different benefits for your body and your physical and mental health.
Nice. Yeah, I did a float not that long ago, and that's insane.
It was great. You got into that fade state, right?
I did. Yeah, big time.
That's
big
cool.
time. It took me a while to get there, and once I did, it was like instant done.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And I felt refreshed.
That's awesome. We had a client come in yesterday who it was her first time floating, and she got into that fade state too, and she had never experienced anything like that before, and she was really excited to come back and try it again.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. This infrared sauna, I'm looking out here, and Stacy told me about this too. There's different light settings.
Yeah.
That give you different moods.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, why don't we grab the card and I might put it on some like red light healing.
Try. Yeah, let's see. I want to see what that is.
Okay, awesome. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, I'm assuming you'll edit this once it's done, yeah.
All right, so we got the color card, we got the remote.
So red light is really well known for healing, and this is the setting that my rheumatologist really recommended for me. People that have like surgeries are frequently put into like red light chambers and under red light lamps during recovery to help detoxify. It also increases your body's own potential for healing due to like increased cell turnover and increased stimulation of your immune system and lymphatic systems. So your body is really like pushing out all the old dead cells, lymphatic fluid, even like bacteria and viruses, and new blood and new tissue is being delivered to the area to increase your healing potential.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah. So after I had my hysterectomy in October, I started coming in here as an ambassador for the business before I became an employee. And within like a week, I was almost like at 100%. And I think it's fully because of like the infrared sauna light. It helped me so much, and my scars are small, but they've like healed impeccably. Like everything just healed really well and really fast.
That's
and
amazing.
it was really, really, really a good aid to my healing from that.
Let's be clear about this too. These lights in here, these aren't UV.
They are infrared lights.
That's right. This is not a tanning bed.
No, not at all. We're pro health here.
Yes. So, but that's the thing though. So, long time ago, back in another life, I happened to work at a tanning facility.
Me too. Don't you know? Yep.
But I know that people would come in there and they would hit the tanning bed not to get color, but because it would heat them up. It would make their bones feel better. It would make arthritis not hurt as bad. Inflammation went away.
Not only that, but seasonal affective disorder is a huge benefit. And the green light here is actually the one that promotes healing or like
nerve relaxants.
Yeah, and seasonal affective disorder.
SAD.
So
SAD.
yeah,
Yes.
so in the doldrums of winter here, when we're hopeful for spring, it's nice to come in and just like zone out and put on the green light, and I definitely think it improves my mood.
See, that's great to hear, because if people out there are still using tanning beds for this stuff, stop. Get in here, because this is healthy. Not only that, but is this eucalyptus wood on the
Yes, it is. Yeah.
This is incredible.
It's beautifully made, antimicrobial. Obviously, we have the highest highest commitment to sanitation and cleanliness here. So you can make sure you're always coming into like a really freshly cleaned sauna. We take hygiene probably the most serious of anything here.
I mean, we have to.
Absolutely.
These days, for sure.
Definitely.
You can't have something like COVID running around again.
No.
So shutting everything down.
Yeah.
But this is an incredible experience. The heat, you kind of just get used to it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I leave here, my skin feels dewy, my body feels good, my bones hurt less.
Yeah,
my muscles relax. It's great.
I'm feeling less pain already.
Yeah.
So, I'm feeling good.
I also like coming in here and just like doing some gentle stretches sometimes.
I noticed that they got some light weights out there. You can do some stuff. So if you want to actually get a little workout in, some stretch, you can.
Yeah, I love using these Bala weights that we have. They're not super heavy, but they're just enough resistance that you can definitely feel it, especially if you do a few different reps.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's nice. This also kind of like helps get your blood flowing, and
I could see how that would be good for rehab.
Yeah,
not that
absolutely.
We're medical experts. Don't take what I'm saying as medical advice. I got to put that out there, because somebody out there will. They'll go out there and say, "Hey, this Blane said go down there and
you'll
do
be
some weights."
Poof, you'll be cured. Right?
Exactly. No, I didn't say that. Now, what I said is, you could come down here if you go to a rehab, and come down here and do your exercises in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
Yeah, I think we are trying to partner some more with like some local PT businesses and things like that. So hopefully we'll get some good clients coming in because
That'd be real nice.
The red light will definitely.
Ooh, now what we got here? We got some.
These are the hand weights. So if you want to work out during your sauna session, you can.
Yeah, that's nice. It feels good.
It does feel good, right?
It's about what, 5 pound? 5 pound weight there, maybe?
3.
3 pound weight there. That's nice.
Yeah,
it feels good.
Definitely. So yeah, we like to have just like some fascia. I don't know what it's called. A fascia wand, a fascia tool
I see it
to kind of like rub out your muscles, and then we have some bands and a ball too to roll out on. So
nice.
Yeah.
This is great. So how often can you do this?
We recommend doing it as much as like 5 to 6 times a week. There's really no
it's
studies that have shown that there's any detriment. It's really good for your body, it's good for your mind, and I think in a lot of ways it's good to just have that pause in our days and in our weeks, right? Where we slow down and just focus on ourselves and maybe do a little meditation, think God for all of our blessings, and think about how we're taking care of ourselves and each other, because without that, you really have nothing. Like without your health, you have nothing, and you can quote me on that.
Oh, that's for sure. That's absolutely. And you would know with all these autoimmune diseases.
Yeah. So it's like if you don't carve out time for your health and wellness, like your body is going to put you in timeout. Oh, yeah. So it's better to just be proactive
if you don't
about
slow down
it.
For yourself, it will make you slow down.
Yes, exactly.
I have went through that on my own. Not as many surgeries as you have had, but I've had a couple.
Yeah.
But they don't hurt in here.
Yeah.
I'm 6 months post spinal fusion, so it's not bad in here. I feel okay. I feel like I can move around a little better. It's gotten looser.
That's good.
Yeah, this is great, but that's great to know that you can't really come too much. It's kind of like the float. The float's the same way.
Yeah, the float, like the more you do it, the better it is. If you have chronic like shoulder, neck, and back pain, it's fantastic because it allows you to just float fully suspended, so there's no pressure on any part of your body.
I love that. Now you working here and having surgeries and being in pain, because you got to still be in pain. You got to be in pain constantly.
And pain 24/7.
Yeah,
it's the last thing I think about when I go to bed at night, and it's the first thing I think about.
Or it's what wakes you up. It's what wakes.
Yeah, it's what wakes me up.
I get it. So with that being said, is there times up here that you take your lunch break and you just hop in here because it makes you feel better?
Yeah, if it's not busy, I don't know if we should tell Stacey this, but yes.
Stacey knows. I think she's here. That's the only reason I'm asking. That's why I said when you're on your break. You're on your break.
Yes, definitely.
But you're also an ambassador for this, so you got to use these, and that's why I'm asking. So if you use this on, Stacey's time.
That's true. The more I use it, the more I learn about the way that it benefits me and can help other people, and hopefully attracts them in here to try it out for themselves.
I love this. Appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
Let me come in here. I appreciate you bringing me in here. How about that?
Absolutely.
This is incredible. We're going to ride it out for the rest of the time. How much time we got left?
20 minutes. You think you can
that's
make
not
it?
Bad. Yeah, I feel good. So,
good.
But that's it for this. You got anything else you want to put out there for us? How do we get in touch with you? What's your other? You got some side businesses too, I think, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Yes, they're not really in the wellness space, but I have a creative business.
Love that.
So I do watercolor paintings and bespoke family crests and crests for children's nurseries, and
nice.
Yeah, I'm all over the place as a creative.
That's probably a horrible business here with no kids being born in this state, huh?
Right? Yeah, true.
Well, hey, where can we find you? On that note, where can we find
you can find me at the Polished Prep on Instagram or at victoriabell.jpg.
And we'll have those links in the show notes, so we'll make sure people get there. Yep.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.